Our public school system hasn't changed in over a century. One of the first public schools was created by wealthy businessmen by the New York Public School Society in 1805. They created a model that we call the factory model, which was meant to create good factory workers, which was fine in the Industrial Revolution because, according to Horns and Evans, only 17% of jobs required worker knowledge. However, compare that to the over 60% of jobs that require worker knowledge today, and we have a problem. While the New York Public School Society was accredited with starting one of the first schools, it is Horace Mann who is credited to the school systems we see today. The Encyclopedia Britannica states that Mann advocated for a free, moral, pedagogic, which is based on how people learn, and a standardized public school for everyone, regardless of race or economic background. Unfortunately, many of his ideas didn't come to pass until after his death in the early 1900s. Despite many reforms to the public school system, we still see this factory model in the school system. So obviously something needs to change. However, change isn't going to happen on a grand scale in a small amount of time. So let's focus on the beginning of the school system, pre-K through first grade. Early childhood education experts have found that play is extremely important for the development of young kids. So many are calling for a play-based school curriculum. They say that this will facilitate learning and promote problem solving. But first, let's discuss the different types of play and how they facilitate learning. The three different types of play that I will talk about is pretend, experimental and logic, and dramatic. Pretend is where the kids use their imagination to represent objects, people, and ideas. This helps them realize that letters represent a meaning and numbers represent quantities. Now, experimental and logical play is where kids manipulate objects, where they can, any material where they can build, mold, or make something out of is experimental and logic. This teaches them cause and effect. If they build a structure out of wooden blocks and they take out part of the foundation, it will fall down. Cause and effect. Last type of play that I'll talk about today is dramatic play. Dramatic is basically theater. In theater, the kids take on role-playing and they interact with kids in a safe environment. So not only do these kids learn to put themselves in another person's shoes, they empathize with someone else, they also learn to interact with others. However, there are some key components in a play-based curriculum. Kids need to be able to choose what they want to learn, and teachers should facilitate their learning. So when you walk into a play-based learning classroom, what you should see is different stations where kids can play at learning. So you will have a science, a math, a reading, a theater, any type of station where they can play. However, then the teacher needs to be a facilitator. They can't just let them alone to play. So what a teacher can do is they can create activities surrounding lesson concepts, such as they can have a reading time to help kids get interested in reading. They can help kids learn to bake and teach them science in action with reactions in baking. They can also create a mailbox system where kids can get interested in writing because they can send and receive letters. Who doesn't like getting a letter? And another thing they can do is they can create a color game or an alphabet game or a number game to help them learn these things. There is no limit to what kids can learn through play. Now, some people, like the authors of Our Kids, the Trusted Source, believe that the earlier kids start school, the better. And they mean like ages 2 and 3, which is really young. And I would agree with them if our schools had a play-based curriculum. As it is, more and more we see our kindergartners sitting in classrooms doing worksheets. This is not a learning promoting atmosphere. The kids will see no point at all to doing this type of activity. Why would we want to send our students, our kids, to an environment where they will learn to hate learning? However, if our public schools did have a play-based learning environment, it would promote problem solving. If you look at children playing, let's take this first picture for example. They're learning about, I'll hold it up, they're learning about their favorite bug. They're figuring things out. However, you have this, and it's kind of small, I'm sorry. They are sitting down taking a test. Who do you think is going to want to figure things out more? The ones learning about their favorite bugs? Most definitely. They're the ones who will ask the why, the how, the what fors. If the tools and the adult support are there for kids, they will learn and do anything. They will learn about the properties of water by figuring out that they can go faster by creating an ice slide through, we've all done it, pour water down it. It's a lot of fun. They will learn about building structures by creating a blanket fort. And they will most definitely learn about gravity by climbing trees. And yes, they can climb trees. It's okay. They may fall. They may get hurt. It's okay. They will learn their limits. They'll learn that they aren't indestructible. But you know what? They'll think it's fun. Oh no, my 5-year-old thinks it's fun to go to school. Worst thing in the world, right there. In all reality, this play-based school system is just a really good daycare center. That's all it is. There's no special formula to this. But what it does is it gets kids started and interested in school. It sets kids up to enjoy learning and to think logically. No, this education system will not solve all of our education problems across the board. It's not meant to. However, it will go a long way in starting the process.